Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me.
We'll stop it right there. I love those moments. I love Lee Greenwood, President Trump. It's awesome, every rally. But the words, I was listening to this song a couple of rallies ago, and it hit me. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Where at least I know I'm free. Do we know that anymore? Are we in a free country? Does it feel like a free country? I don't know that it does. Was it a free country for that man in Loudoun County who had the temerity to show up at a school board meeting and stick up for his daughter who was assaulted in the girls' room by a transgender boy? Not a free country. How about the coach for the Raiders? Remember this guy, Gruden? Okay, there was a word. It rhymed with bag. It started with an F. Unfortunately, it was used to describe gay people a lot. We don't use it anymore. He used it in an email, a private email, 10 years ago. They found it. He got fired. Is that, folks, is that freedom or is that fear? Fear from the totalitarian state it seems like we live in? Black Lives Matter. Do you agree with it? Do you possibly have some misgivings with it? All right, maybe something needs to be done about civil rights. Maybe we can have a conversation. This is not right, okay? And maybe in the middle of the hoopla, you decided to say something like, well, Black Lives Matter, but all lives matter too. Check out what happened to the guy who said that. A man who was a sportscaster for the Sacramento Kings. He lost his job after he tweeted, all lives matter. How do you feel about gay pride? Quite frankly, one's sexuality, I thought it was kind of irrelevant, right? I mean, aren't we past this? But it seems to define everything. If you're not on board with that, are we in a free country? Are we defined by our appetites? Let's take a look at this. This young child, is this child free? Is this freedom? I don't think so. And you know, it's not just about that child. This all has a chilling effect. You may not be a coach for the Raiders, whatever, but it has a chilling effect. Oh my gosh, if I make a mistake, what's going to happen? That's not freedom. Try wearing a MAGA hat in the wrong neighborhood. Or in the wrong city, a blue city. What happens to somebody if they're wearing a Make America Great Again hat? Do me a favor, don't try it in a blue city. It may not end well. We're not free. How about this plan to hire how many new IRS agents? 87,000? Is that the hallmark of a free society? Let's go back to the inauguration of Joe Biden. He was very proud that day. It was creepy and weird. Basically, nobody was allowed to show up. Not that there were throngs of people who were interested, but, you know, after January 6th, the idea of peaceably assembling, they have so stigmatized it. Oh, it could turn into something horrible. Stay home. Don't peaceably assemble. How about this one? James Madison High School, right here in New York City. Been around for over 100 years. You know what they did this year in January? They sent the students home and they invited illegal immigrants to come in. Illegal aliens came in and took over the school, and it was the city's plan. New York City, this was their shelter plan for these people. Interesting that the powerful already got all they needed from that school. For instance, take a look at some of the people who went to that high school. Senator Schumer, Senator Sanders, Judge Judy, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Well, do you think that their parents ever would have allowed those precious students, Chucky Schumer, to be kicked out of school for some illegal migrant? Of course not. It doesn't work that way. But somehow today it does. And look at the so-called elected leaders. Who are they representing when they take a knee for who the hell knows what? You should talk to Vernon Jones sometime about those kente cloths they're wearing. They have absolutely no clue what they're doing, who they're kneeling to, why they're kneeling, but they're going along with it, and they represent millions and millions of people. Here's a rule of thumb when it comes to kneeling in a truly free society.
We stand tall, we stand proud, and we only kneel to Almighty God.
That's more like it. Hey, if you want to kneel, kneel. But elected leaders taking a knee for something they have no clue just to appease the woke left that they're terrified of. Is this a free society? If it can happen to him, it can happen to us. Take a look at this fine. What is it up to? $455 million. You know, I can't officially endorse anybody, but I'd kind of like to vote for him. Maybe he's making it so he can't make it to Election Day, right? They're trying to throw him in jail. And maybe taking his money is all a part of a plan so he can't campaign for office. I never thought of it this way. Donald Trump, just a few hours ago.
We have a lot of cash and we have a great company, but they want to take it away, or at least take the cash element away. Billions of dollars in value, billions of dollars in properties, but they'd like to take the cash away so I can't use it on the campaign.
Isn't that interesting? Never crossed my mind. It's not a free society right now. At least I know I'm free. I don't know that anymore. Donald Trump, one of the greatest leaders this country has seen in centuries. I know not everybody agrees with me, but at least give him a shot. You're trying to lock him up. This is not a free society, and there are not enough people. People, whether it's ordinary people or people in positions of power, doing the right thing here. Kevin O'Leary, the guy from Shark Tank, you never know where you're going to find your heroes. He has no real affinity for Donald Trump. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. He says Donald Trump is beside the point, actually. When you start throwing around fines like this, his comments today were so important. We have laws. We have property rights. It attracts foreign capital from all around the world. All of that is being shaken to the core here. This is case setting against the American brand. This is an attack on America. The whole world is watching and everybody is waiting for one thing we haven't got yet: adult supervision. Where is it? We need an adult in the room. This is the United States of America under siege. An adult in the room. By that, what I think he means is, somebody who doesn't necessarily agree with Trump, or maybe he did, whatever, but just go for it. We all know that this is wrong. More people should be standing up and saying so. And as a conservative, I've done that before myself for people I don't like. For instance, Eric Adams, the liberal mayor of New York City. There's a lot of reasons why I can't stand this guy and I think he should be driven from office. But there's been a new allegation that he sexually assaulted a colleague back in 1993 or harassed. It's very unclear. Of course it's unclear. It happened in 1993. It's impossible to defend himself in that kind of case. It's a civil case, a lawsuit. He's being sued because he got famous. And nobody on the left is sticking up for this guy. I will. This is wrong. Andrew Cuomo, a million reasons to not like Andrew Cuomo. But he was targeted by Letitia James, accused of sexually harassing 13 women and driven from office. You could have driven him from office for a million reasons, the nursing homes, whatever, that crazy book deal. But he's no sexual predator. We have to be principled people. This is I got a lot of heat for this, but you have to stick up for the principle. Take a look at this. The New York Times noted that among the only public figures inclined to defend Mr. Cuomo publicly are conservatives, like the former mayor, Rudolph Giuliani, the Newsmax host, Greg Kelly, and John Catsimatidis, the colorful supermarket magnate. Liberals were quiet. Liberals are quiet today for Eric Adams. Principles are important because sooner or later they're going to come for your friends. And they're coming for our friends right now. John Eastman, what's his mistake? He represented the President of the United States. He had some interesting ideas, charged with crimes. Rudy Giuliani, charged with crimes, fined $150 million, and they suspended his law license. This is not a free country. This is a message. It's not just to these guys. It's to anybody else who's even thinking of getting out of line with the establishment. Don't do it, or we're coming for you. Rudy Giuliani is still a giant in law. He has not lost one step, and there are people who know it. He's been a hero for decades, but right now he's at the top of his game. But a reminder, we never had a prosecutor like him.
Mafia leaders were rounded up in an overnight sweep, and today, U.S. Attorney Rudolph Giuliani announced the indictments.
This is a great day for law enforcement, but this is a bad day, probably the worst, for the Mafia.
I felt terrible. I knew Fat Tony. I liked him a lot.
And tonight, a man identified as Ralph Scopro.
Ralphie Scopro, knew Ralphie well. You know, I grew up with him.
This case charges more Mafia bosses in one indictment than any ever before.
Rudy, a legend, and he is still a great lawyer. You know, there were a lot of young assistant U.S. attorneys who are still bragging about their days as a prosecutor. Here's Rudy back then. That's Michael Chertoff in the middle with the mustache, a guy named Gil Childers on the right, and John Savarese on the left. He took his stint at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and now he's making millions of dollars as a law partner. Hey, it's a free country, but I don't know. I want to see more lawyers who know better to step forward and do the right thing. These guys, they just go wherever the wind is blowing because I guess it's good for business, right? Here's John Savarese, fast forward, 35 years or so, and he's as woke and wrong as they come.
We are living through a moment in our country's history in which the values that have long animated our nation and that have earned our nation respect around the world are in grave peril. The current administration loudly proclaims, quote, "Our country is full," and that accordingly, our country's borders should be closed to those hoping for a better life.
2019, when the border was, under control. We had legal immigration. It's interesting. He talks about the Trump era like it was upside down. Now we know what upside down is. And what's upside down is what's happening to Donald Trump. And he knows it, and they all know it, but they hate Trump so much that this is okay. It's not okay. Someday it's going to happen to somebody he likes, somebody you like, and somebody we like right now, Donald Trump. Kevin O'Leary, that last line, please. We need an adult in the room. This is the United States of America under siege. And let's name a few more names. And I say this respectfully because there are a lot of people in life who just don't want the headache. They've worked hard. They went to the right schools. The establishment wasn't as dysfunctional and weird as it is today. So this is a respectful wake-up. A request. Tom Daschle, you were in the United States Senate. Somebody told me recently that you're a common-sense guy and not a bad guy. Do you think this is right, what's happening to Donald Trump? How about you, Ted Olson, veteran of the Reagan administration? I'm told that you're really smart and ethical. Paul Clement, another top lawyer. Rod Rosenstein, you were there every step of the way. You know about the corruption of the FBI. Alberto Gonzalez and Michael Mukasey, superstar attorney general. These gentlemen can do so much. We need adults in the room. It can't just be a handful of cable hosts and Alan Dershowitz, okay? We need help. This country needs help. And by the way, thank you, Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush did it. Jeb Bush wrote an op-ed about the injustice that's happening to Donald Trump. Jeb Bush and the Bushes we know don't like Donald Trump. But it seems like Jeb Bush likes America more, loves America more than he hates Donald Trump. And that is a beautiful, patriotic thing. Governor Bush, thank you. Thank you so much, really. Means a lot. Back to Lee Greenwood for a moment.
And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me.
The second part of that opening verse, what does it say there? I'm proud to, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. You know what's happening? The men who died, their traditions that they thought were being handed down, they're being thrown out. Who's heard of duty, honor, country? General MacArthur, etched in the walls of West Point, the motto of West Point, even the Army, I think. You know, they've thrown it out. It doesn't work anymore. They don't want anybody thinking about duty, honor, country. They're coming up with new, weird terms. Woke. Woke is the way, isn't it? And who's to blame? Who is to blame? Well, a lot of people, a lot of forces, but most of all, the generals. past and current.